Another issue this week, a house knocked down in Newcastle. I know you're constrained to some extent on what you can say on the specifics of that case, but it's come to light that the department has never in the past issued a reinstatement notice, in other words forced someone to rebuild a house if they've knocked it down without permission. Is that a weapon that you would be willing to consider?
It's a weapon which I believe should be in the armoury of the department, because of course enforcement is something which many people don't understand, and they can't understand why sometimes we are not more robust. But you've got to remember that in all of these situations, very often enforcement officers have to look at precedents in the past, they have to look at judgments which have been made in the past, they have to look at the sanctions which are available to them. All I can say is, and I think that we do have to send a message out to those who want to behave in a lawless way, is that if one section of the community has to abide by planning regulations and planning controls, then every section of the development community should have to do that. And I suppose we've got to send out the message that there's got to be consistency here, and also that when people do wrong and decide to ignore the rules, that there will be penalties to pay, and those penalties shouldn't be a slap on the wrist. I don't want to say anything about this particular one, Jim, because the one thing that I've always found is that as sure as you say something, that's then used, you might say it for the best of motives, and it's then used as an argument as to a minister has prejudged the issue and therefore it becomes an issue in a court case or whatever. So I'm not prejudging this. All I'm saying is that in enforcement cases the department should have a range of weapons available to it and should not be afraid to use those where it believes people have flagrantly broken the planning rules.